The disciples were gathered together, still reeling from the shock of seeing Jesus alive again.
Isn't it amazing? We were just sitting here and then there he was.
He just appeared.
Out of nowhere.
Yeah, and all the doors were locked.
But he was no ghost.
No, but do you remember how scared we all were until he said, "Peace be with you"?
Thomas, who'd been making everyone a drink, returned to the table.
What's all this you've been talking about? Have I missed something? All this talk about ghosts?
Oh, of course, sorry, Thomas. We forgot that you weren't with us then. It's Jesus. We've seen him.
Yes, I saw him too. I watched them carry him to the grave.
But that's just it. He's no longer there. He's alive.
What? Is this some kind of joke? It's not very funny. He died. How can he be alive again?
But it's true. We all saw him. He was here.
He was.
Yeah.
Here.
Well, I'm not going to believe it until I see the nail marks in his hands. I won't believe it until I've got a finger in the side where the spear went. I just won't believe it.
Just as Thomas finished saying this, Jesus appeared suddenly once more among them. Thomas nearly fell off his chair in fright.
Thomas, won't you believe unless you put your finger in the holes in my hands where the nails were? Look, feel, stop doubting and believe.
It's you, it really is, my Lord, my God.
Oh Thomas, you believe because I'm here and you can see me. But there are those who will believe in me and won't be able to see me. How happy they will be. Remember when I was with you before? I said that everything written about me must happen. Everything in the law of Moses, the books of the prophets, and the Psalms. It was written that the Christ would be killed and rise from death on the third day. You saw these things happen. You're witnesses. You must tell people to change their hearts and lives. If they do this, God will forgive them all the wrong things they've done and set them free.
The disciples looked nervously at one another. They tried to tell Thomas what had happened earlier, and he hadn't believed them. Why would anyone else listen to them and believe it was true? Jesus knew what they were thinking. He smiled and said,
You must start in Jerusalem and teach all these things in my name to all nations. Don't worry, God won't leave you powerless. He's going to give each of you a wonderful gift. But you must stay in Jerusalem until you've received the gift.
The disciples had no idea what was going to happen next. But if God was with them, who could be against them? And that is the end of our story, for now.
The
everybody.